What's happening, everybody? It is Tuesday, straight from the streets day. I have my heavy hitters in the building with me again tonight. Mr. Brandon Whitting, motivational speaker, busy bee moving. Vincent Booker, motivational speaker, just an all-around great guy, an economic, financial guy, community guy, and we all gonna get you straight from the streets, and we gonna have this round table conversation about some good old mental health. Can you dig it? Gentlemen, how is it going on this Tuesday? I don't know why we want to say Wednesday sometime, man. It is Tuesday. It is maybe my future is bright.
You want to say Wednesday because it's hump day.
Hump day. I just like saying it, right?
Yeah, hump day. You know what I mean?
Well, how's the week been to you so far, Mr. Brandon Whiting? And then Mr. Vincent Booker, I'll let you come on in this thing, too.
Yes, sir, man. It's been great, man. Fantastic. I'm on top of this earth, man. All praise to God. So, you know, it's a beautiful thing, bro.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Putting in that work. Putting in that work.
Putting it in. Mr. Vincent Booker, what's going on with you, man?
Oh, man, it's been good, man. It started out good, and then it's going to end good, man. Fortunately, like Brandon said, man, another day on top. Any day on top, man, is always a blessing, man.
Being seen and not viewed. Ain't nobody looking down at you and say, he sure look natural. He sure look like himself.
Shout out to Coke Enterprise, man. Appreciate you for showing that love to me, man. You know what I mean? With the Christmas conversation you got, man. For real.
I appreciate it, man. It's all good, man. It's all good, man. You are going to be one of the many of the testimonies of a Keep on Pushing Enterprises Credit with Pride. You dig what I mean? It's all good. It's all good. It's something I love to do, and it's something I'm excited about doing, and it's just another vein of Keep on Pushing Enterprises. So we're just going to keep growing and going and growing and going. Speaking of growing and going, we had an offline conversation about the name of the show, and we called it Straight from the Streets. The reason why I named it Straight from the Streets, because these brothers right here were previously incarcerated, right? And they were straight from the streets, right? They were from the streets, but look at them now. They're on the podium. They're leading. They're teachers. They're trainers. They're motivators. They're encouragers amongst their leader, their peers. So they came straight from the streets, but we don't just own the street level stuff, because the street is where everything starts, right? You can't drive a car without getting on the street, right? So therefore, we have to just get on the ground level, and then we grow up from there. So we straight from the streets, but it's not just all street, and it's not all street type, gangster type stuff is what, so that connotation of it isn't that. And the reason why, just to kind of give you guys a little insight, the reason why the show is Straight from the Streets is because, again, that's where it started from, the street, and we hitting everybody on the ground level. So we hitting these subjects and these conversations from the ground floor so where everybody can join. Because on street level, everybody is equal, right? You dig what I'm saying? So everybody's on the same playing field, and so there's no big eyes, no little U's. We coming straight from the street, and teamwork will make the dream work. Can you dig it? So it is all good.
It's good, bro.
It's good, man. I like that. I love it.
Can you dig it? Yeah, man. Like I said, again, I apologize if I didn't to the audience if I had not explained to you guys why the show was named Straight from the Streets, but here it is, and that's the reason why. Can you dig it? And I hope you like it. I hope you love it. And there's a lot of more listener participation going on, and because of audience participation and suggestions on show topics, we're talking about mental health tonight. Actually, we're going to do a 3-part series on health: mental, physical, spiritual. And the funny part of it, man, is that I had an email from one of our listeners, man. They were asking about us talking about mental health. They gave me a list of stuff they want to talk about. And before I saw the email, I had already put the topic of the conversation out. And that was number one on her list. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That was number one on her list, man. That was number one on the list, man. So, yeah, it is absolutely, man, excellent to be in a time that we're living in. I know sometimes people are upset and frustrated because it's time, but this is a great time that we're living in. This is a time for the thinkers. This is a time for the doers. This is a time for those people that have solutions. And so we all about being all three of those things, because, see, this round table discussion with these brothers right here, see, we not just one of those things. We all love them. So we all going to come to the table, and we're going to have a great discussion tonight, and we're going to talk about this mental health thing. But before I get into it, Brandon, let the people know what you do, how to get a hold of your business, and how to support what you're doing. And then Mr. Vincent Booker will let you do the same thing, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm always excited to, be on the show, man, every Tuesday. So it's a blessing and an honor, and we learning as we share what we got to know.
Yeah,
but I want to say, I had a bees moving company, nothing too small or too big. that I do. So, you know, you can just hit I'm on Facebook and send me a message, or you can go through my email, Brandon Whiting, number 20 at gmail.com. Brandon Whiting 20 at gmail.com. If you need some moves, so, you know, I'm always ready to move. I mean, I'm charging reasonable prices. I'm doing motivational speaking, you know. I don't care if it's at schools, juvenile detention, anything at risk and preventative, high schools, junior high. So, you know, you know, contact me through my email again if you need me to come speak and share my experiences, because I was a troubled youth as well. I'm writing on my book, you know. I got the music as a soundtrack coming to the book. Me and Vincent working on the project, and me, Vincent, and Shelton are getting ready to start a non-profit as well. We got that in the works, and we're attending in February. Y'all come check us out. Shout out to Tasha Dearborn.
Shout out.
For Them Down For What. So we'll be rapping and speaking as well on the panel, and Sheldon will too. So
not rapping, but I will be speaking.
Yeah, not rapping. Well, when you speak, sometimes you rhyme. So hey, I gotta give it up for you, brother. Yeah, that's it right there. Gotta tip my head for you.
I hear you, man. Biggest smiles in this piece.
Right.
That's all
That's
good.
right. That's right.
It's all good. Mr. Vincent Booker.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm Vincent Booker. I'm a friend of Brandon Whiting's on Facebook. I'm also a friend of Brother Shelton Fortenberry on Facebook. I'm in motivation speaking. I do some one-on-one mentoring, and I'm still going to school for substance abuse, but I can give you the ins and outs, man, of that drug world, because I've been a victim and a victimizer of that. And then, like Brandon said, we got a project that we're working on. Me and him and Shelton got some stuff that we're working on, man. We just trying to put it in, man. It's 2018, and it's all about producing some results, man. And I'm glad to be a part of the show. Glad to I'm hooked up with these brothers, and these brothers very knowledgeable and they're very intelligent, man. And it's always a blessing on these Tuesday nights, man, to sit down and congregate with you brothers, man, and have these discussions that we have. And my email address for those of my contact, my email address is akill8260 at gmail.com. And you can hit me directly on the cell at 469-632-2615. And we supporting each other, man. We supporting Billy B's movement. We supporting KOPE. You know what I'm saying? Everything we got going on, man. We're gonna try to push forward and no looking back.
No doubt. No sense of looking back, man. You run into a wall that way. Look forward. Always forward. Always forward. Now, we talking about this mental health, right? This elephant in the room, if you will. Because think about it, man. When you watch television shows and movies and stuff like that, right, you hear Europeans say, I'm going to therapy. I'm going to see my therapist. And they smile when they say it. Or they say it, like they don't say it in a shameful way, right? Do you hear us in our community talk much about therapy, right? Because we don't speak enough about it. We don't look forward to doing it enough, right? And I think it's almost like a taboo thing to say that something is wrong with us, right? Because if you come in and say, I'm just not feeling right, something is wrong, and my mind is not, whatever is going on, what they'll say, oh, you just got the blues. Oh, you just not praying enough.
Right.
Oh, you just don't have enough faith. Oh, you just not hard enough.
Right.
You just not busy enough. You just letting the weight of the world get to you. Because again, they'll throw spirituality on you in a minute, right? And so it's almost like, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. What I'm simply saying that they may need some professional help that may be able to, there's some things that's going on, because it's going on in your mind. It's kind of hard to explain what's happening inside, right? And so if you can't articulate it the way that you want to articulate it to someone else that may not have the empathy or the sympathy for what you're going through, you're going to keep it to yourself. And so now you have a lot of people out here, man, in our community, they're fighting these battles by themselves, and they're going through it alone. Right? Because you can't open your mouth and speak to someone about what you're going through without judgment. So I want to speak, man, to the point that, the mental illness, what's going on with it, and especially in our community, what can we do, to fix it, and how can we recognize it, right? How can we be more aware of those people that are going through, rather than, they need to get it together. They need to figure it out. It may be a little bit more to that. And as always, we're always going to come with some solutions at the end of the show that's going to be able to give you guys some nuggets, if you will, that you can leave the show with. And if you know anyone that's going through some of these things, maybe we can provide some information that can deem to be helpful for your situation. Because again, we're all growing together and we're all trying to learn together. So, Mr. Vincent Booker, I would like you to kick the door in on this one, man. Mental health. What are your ideas on some of the mental health, man? What have you seen? What is your experience with it?
I would want to start off by saying, you know, first and foremost, we all have to understand, like, let's look at the clinical definition of insanity, right? You're considered to be insane when you do the same thing over and over and over and over and over, but you're expecting different results. They label this as insanity. We all can agree on that, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you look at the black community, what do you see? You see people consistently doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, but they're expecting different results. We do have a problem. By that definition alone, we have a problem. But it's up to us to fix the problem. And it's just like y'all brothers just said, we have to identify with it. You know, there's nothing wrong with going to seek counseling. There's nothing wrong with that. So we got to get away from it. We got to get away from that. Again, when you look at the clinical definition of insanity, of doing the same thing but expecting different results, look at the black communities, most black communities. This is what they embedded in it. We entrenched in it. We do the same thing over and over and over, just like complaining. It's just like complaining. You can complain over and over, but you're expecting different results, knowing the only way you're going to get the results you want, you got to make it happen. You got to make something happen. And I would want to start the show off by saying that, man.
Right on. Round the corner, going 50 in a 35 curve, Mr. Brandon Whitting.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you brothers' comments too, and you know, I'm coming from a different dynamic, and I agree with Vincent when that's one level of what we call insanity, right? And yeah, we do need help for that, and we want to go to the root of it as well. But I want to say, like Shelton was saying, you know, we got to also, what we need to do is educate ourselves on this. Because, you know, I had to really study this because we used to say, like, people just crazy. Whatever. They just crazy.
Throw it off.
You know?
Throw it off.
Yeah, they throw it off for bipolar. I mean, now we got terms like bipolar. We realize these real serious conditions.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff started in childhood with trauma and poverty. And this is why, and I'm going to, later on in the show, I want to tie this into why we end up, you know, incarcerated and things of that nature. But I want to say that, first of all, this goes back to slavery as well. You know, black people, as black people, we always taught to be tough. And, you know, slavery, we taught to just be tough and work through it. Then, you know, after slavery, you know, the Jim Crow, we taught to be tough and just, you know, work through it and don't complain. And then we're taught, you know, even with the civil rights, you know, so all this trauma that we endured, even from that level, then in the household and the neighborhood, you know, where we see a lot of crime and violence. And then we got the image of the black woman always being tough. And the black man, you know, always got to be tough. So what's happening is inside, though, you know, you break. You can tap. You know what I mean? Because it's not setting in. The reality is not setting in that we all going through something. And then what we do, we suffocate inside. And this is why we end up with what we call mental illness. And you have different, that's like the word disease means a dis-ease or discomfort. So what the problem is starting off is that we don't even know, some people who have mental illness don't even know they have it.
Right.
You know, because we were taught, going back to what Shelton said, you know, we wasn't taught to go see a doctor. You know, we don't do that. We don't do like white. But and one of the reasons is, some of the reason we didn't get help is because, that's one reason, but another reason because we didn't have the money.
Right.
You know, professional help.
Counseling ain't free.
But Shelton said, so getting back to what Shelton said as well, too, you know, you just can't pray your way through every situation. You know, you pray, but then you got to get up and go to work, you know. like you want some money. You gotta pray,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You gotta pray, and then you seeking help because, like I say, a lot of us has dealt with some kind